Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Parvati Pataye. Har 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 Mahadev Shambho. Samasada Shivaya Namaha. Om Nidhanapataye Namaha.
Nidanapatantikaya Namaha. Urdhvaya Namaha. Urdhvalingaya Namaha. Hiranyaya Namaha. Hiranyalingaya Namaha. Divyaya Namaha. Divyalingaya Namaha. Bhavaya Namaha. Bhavalingaya Namaha. Sarvaya Namaha. Sarvalingaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha. Namaha. Atmaya Namaha. Atmalingaya Namaha. Paramaya Namaha. Parmalingaya Namaha. Etat somasya suryasya sarvalinga stapayati pani mantram pavitram sajjo jatam prabhadhyami sajjo jataya ve namo namaha bhave bhave nati bhave bhavasya mam bhavodbhavaya namaha Madevaya namo Jyeshtaya namo Shrestaya namo Rudraya namaha Kalaya namaha Kalavikarnaya namo Balavikarnaya namo Balaya namo Balaprapatnaya namo Sarvabhutadhamanaya namo Manomanaya namaha Aghore evyotagorebhyaha Gortarebhyaha Sarve सर्वशर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते स्तुरुद्रिभ्यः तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्र प्रचोदयात् सर्वविद्यानाम् ईशान सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपतिर्ब्रह्मणोऽधिपतिर्ब्रह्मो शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवोम् गणपतिगुं भवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्रवस्तवं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोऽस्ति सीधसाधनम् ॐ महागणपतये नमः ॐ शं च मे मयश्च मे प्रियं च मे मेनुकामश्च मे कामश्च मे सौमनश्च मे भद्रं च मे श्रेयश्च मे वस्यश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणं च मे यन्ता च मे धर्ता च मे क्षेमस्य मे घृतिश्च मे विश्वं च मे महश्च मे सविच्च मे ज्ञातं च मे सूश्च मे प्रसूश्च मे शरीरं च मे लयश्च मे ऋतं च मे अमृतं च मे क्षयं च मे नामश्च मे जीवातुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वं च मे अमृतं च मे भयं च मे सुखं च मे शयनं च मे सूचात मे सुदिनं च मे ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमो भगवते रुद्राय ओम नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यवहुतोऽस्य इषवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु अग्ने बाहुभ्यां मृतये नमः या ते इषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते दनुः शिवाशरव्याय या तव तयानो रुद्रमृदया या ते रुद्र शिवा तनुरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनवाशन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकृषिः यामीशुं गिरिशं सहस्ते विवर्षस्तवे गिरित्रुतां कुर्माहि वंशीः पुरुषं जगत शिवेन वचसा त्वागिरीशा च वधामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मवं सुमना असत अध्यवोच्चरिवक्ता प्रथमो देव्योऽभिषक अहिगश्च सत्त्वान् जम्बयन्त सर्वाश्रयात्तुदान्यः असो यस्ताम्रो अर्णो उत बभ्रुः सुमं
अभितो ऋक्षोक्षिताः सहस्राक्षो वैशाग्वं हेदहीमहे असो यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उतैनं विश्वा भूतानि सदृष्टो मृदयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीदुषे अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वा नोऽहं तेभ्यो कर्णं मह प्रमुञ्च धनमस्तमोभिरोत्रात्नियोर्ज्यां याश्च ते हस्त इषवापराता भगवो वप अवतत्त्वधनुस्वाग्वं सहस्राक्ष शुधे शुधे निषेल्य शल्यानां मुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विजं दनोः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो वानवागुम् उत अनिषन्नस्य एष वा आभुरस्य निषङ्गितिः याते हेतिर्मिर्दुष्टं हस्ते बभूव ते दनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्तामयक्ष्मय परिभुज नमस्ते अस्ध्वायुनाथाय धृष्टवे उभाभ्यामुच्चे बाहुभ्यां वन्दने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् ऋणक्तु विश्वतः अथो ये इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन् हि देहितं ॐ नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय आदेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालग्निकालाय कालग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः नमो हिरण्यबाहवे स्नेनान्ये दिशां तपतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्जराय तुषीमते पथीनां पतये नमो नमो बभ्रुषाय विद्यादिने नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्ये जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तथा विनेक्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्ताय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय सपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्पृताय औषधीनां पतये नमो नमः उच्चैरघोषय कृन्दयते पथीनां पतये नमो नमः नमः कृत्सवीताय धावते सत्वनां पतये नमो नमः नमः समनाय निव्याधिने आव्याधिने नानां पतये नमो नमः पकुबाय निशिङ्गने स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निशिङ्गने इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वंशते परिवंशते स्थायुनां पतये नमो नमो निचेदवे परिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः सृकाविभ्यो जगत्सद्भयो मुष्टतां पतये नमो 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 मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षानां पतये नमो नमः पकृन्तानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीषणे गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः इषुमद्भयो धन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः पतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो आयश्चद्भयो विघ्राश्चभ्यो नमो 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 मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षानां वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वभाभो जगासिद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः ॐ तस्मै नमः परमकारणकारणाय दिव्योषितलोचनाय नागेन्द्रहारकृतिकुण्डलभूषणाय रमेन्द्रविष्णुवरदाय नमः शिवाय शिङ्गने सेनानां पतये नमो नमः
निषङ्गिने
इषुद्युमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमः
वञ्चिते
परिवञ्चिते स्थायुनां पतये नमो नमः
निचेरवे निचराया ज्ञानां
पतये नमो नमः
सुधाविभ्यो जिगासद्भयो मुष्टानां
पतये नमो नमः
असिमद्भयो नक्तञ्चभ्यश्च वो प्रक्षिप्तानां पतये
नमो नमः
उष्णेशिने
गिरिशराय कुरुंशानां पतये नमो नमः
इषिमद्भयो दन्वाभिर्भ्यश्च
गिरिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः
आतन्वानेभ्यः
प्रतिददानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः
आयश्चभ्यो वृषद्भ्यश्च वो नमो 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 सद्भ्यश्च वो विद्यभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः
शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः
गवाभ्यो जगद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नस्तिभ्योऽध्यावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो
अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो
नमः नमः अव्याधिनेभ्यो विविध्यानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगनाशृङ्गाहिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो वृत्सेभ्यो वृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो
व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः
गणेभ्यो
गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो
विरूपेभ्यो
विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो
महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रतिभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रतेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यश्च सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः ऋतुभ्यः सङ्ग्रहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो नमस्तक्षभ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुञ्जिस्तेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषिकिद्भयो धन्वद्भिर्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुग्धाश्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः अश्वभ्यो अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः ॐ नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शतकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च युक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च धन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च शिविविष्ठाय च नमो मीदुष्ठमाय च श्रेयुष्ठमे च नमो हस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्चसये च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृद्धने च नमो उग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशवे च चिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीम्याय च नमः उन्याय च वंस्याय च नमः सोतस्याय च दीप्ताय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च चापरजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च गव्याय च नमो उभन्याय च बुध्न्याय च नमः सोम्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च शेम्याय च नमः पूर्वर्ययाय च खल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय च वसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्षाय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेनाय च चाशुरथाय च नमः शूराय च वविन्धने च नमो वर्मिने च वर्जने च नमो बिल्विने च नकजने च नमो श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च अन्याय च नमो विष्णवे च प्रविश्याय च नमो दूताय च प्रतिहाय च नमो निषङ्गिने चेषुधिमते च नमः तीक्ष्णे च वेचायुधेन च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुतधन्वने च नमः सुताय च पत्याय च नमः कात्याय च नित्याय च नमः सूध्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाभ्याय च वैशन्त्याय च नमः कूप्याय च वाक्याय च नमो वर्षाय च वर्षाय च नमो मेध्याय च विद्याय च नमः ईक्रियाय च चाप्याय च नमो गाद्याय च रेष्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च क्रमस्ताम्राय च चारुणाय च नमः शङ्काय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो उग्रेवधेय च दूरेवधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्काराय च नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तीर्थ्याय च तुल्याय च नमः भार्याय च भार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय च चोदरणाय च नमः आधारालाय च चलाध्याय च नमः दुष्टाय च प्रेण्याय च नमः शिखत्याय च प्रपाह्याय च नमः ॐ दन्याय च प्रबध्याय च नमः दिगंशिलाय च शयनाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्याय च गुह्याय च नमस्तार्याय च गोप्याय च नमः कात्याय च भूप्रवेशाय च नमो धृनन्याय च निविशेषणाय च नमः भागं साव्यारजस्याय च नमः शुष्ट्याय च हरित्याय च नमो लोक्याय च सूर्याय च नमः ऊर्याय च सूर्याय च नमः पट्याय च पर्वतीयाय च नमो पर्ववस्त्रमनाय च विघ्नते च नमः पार्थिवते च प्रकृते च नमो वः किरीटेभ्यो देवानागमहृतभ्यो नमो विक्षीकटेभ्यो नमो विचिन्मकेभ्यो नमः आर्यहतेभ्यो नमः आनीवत्तेभ्यः द्राते अन्तरिद्धर्तपते तविन्ननीलनियोहितः येषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनां मोरभोगेषां किञ्चनामता याते रुद्रशिवा तनूरशिवा विश्वाः भेजसे शिवा रुद्रस्य भेजसे सतावृतधीवसे इमापुं रुद्राय तवसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रभरामहे मतिं यथा नः शमसद्युपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्पं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरं मृदानुरुद्रोतो नमो भयद्वीराय मनसा विधेमाते यच्छं च योश्च मनुराजते पितादश्यां तव रुद्रो प्रणीतो मानो महन्तमुतमानो पर्वतं मानमक्षयं सुमतमानुदक्षितं मानोऽवधीपितरं मुतमातरे प्रियं मानवस्तु मयो रुद्रो ऋषिभ्य मानस्तु केतनये मानो आयुषो मानो घोषो मानो अश्विपीरिषा वीरानो रुद्र भामिनो वधीर्हविष्मन्तो नमसा विधेवते आरारो भूम्या उच्चपुरुष्यते क्षयद्वीराय समन्वस्मेते अस्तु रक्षाचरो अधीचदेवा भूयदाचनः शर्मायश्च द्रव्यो सुहीकृतं गर्भसतं युवानं मृगं धीममुक्तिसमुच्यं मृदाधरित्रो रुद्राथवानो अयं दत्तो अस्मन्निपन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतुर्वृणस्तु परिते दशस्यपुर्मस्तिरथायो अवस्थिरा मघवद्भयस्वं मीनस्तोकाय तनयाय मृतया मीदुष्टं शिवतमा शिवो नः सुमना भवा परमे भिक्षा आयुधिताय कुटुम्बसानाम् आचर्विनाकं विभ्रदादहि विकरीतलोहितं नमस्ते अस्तु भगवद्यात्रे सहस्रकं वेतायोऽन्यस्मन् अस्मन्निपन्तुताः सहस्राणि सहस्रगः भायोस्तवहेतया तासाभूतानो भगव पराचीना मुखाकृतिः सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अभिभूया तेषां सहस्रयोजने स्वधन्वानि तन्वसे अस्मिन्नहत्यवेगे अन्तरिक्षे भवारहि नीलग्रीवातिखण्डाय तुषगमाय अधः क्षमाचरः नीलग्रीवातिखण्डाधिपगं रुद्रा उपक्षिताः ये वृक्षेषु तस्मिन् जना नीलग्रीवविलोहिता ये भूतानामापृतपतेः शिखिराकपर्दिने ये अग्नेषु विदध्वंसि पात्रेषु कृतो जनाना ये पथां पतिरक्षया एलपीठा यद्विविधः एतान् ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति श्रुतावन्तो निशङ्किनः या एवं तक्षः भूयागश्च दिशो रुद्रावितरस्थे तेष वर्षाकं सहस्रयोजने वदन्वाणी तन्मासि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्यां ये अन्तरिक्षे ये दिविदे येषामनं वातो वर्षमिहस्तवभ्यो दश प्राचीर्दशां दक्षिणां दश प्रतीचतिर्देशो दशो भजे नमस्ते नो मृदयन्तु येयं दिशो यश्च नो दृष्टो तं नो मे दधामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धना मृत्योर्मोक्षयमामृताः ते ॐ यो रुद्रो अग्नो यो अप्सुयाम् औषधीशो यो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवना विवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु तमुष्टुभिः यः शिशोऽसु भस्मायो विश्वाधयन्ति भेषजः यक्ष्वामहे सोमनसाय रुद्रं नमो गिर्देव सुरं दवस्य अयं मे हस्तु भगवानयं मे भगवतरः अयं मे विश्वभेषजोयगं शिवाभिवर्षं ये ते सहस्रमयुतं पाशामृत्यो मध्याय हस्तवे तान्यस्य मायया सर्वान् यजामहे ॐ मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्योत्पाहि प्राणानां ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मां निशान्तकः तेनानेनाप्यस्यः सदाशिवो ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ॐ सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षा सहस्रपात्
भूम्यं विश्वतो वृत्वा यतिष्ठाजाङ्गुलम् पुरुषायवेदं सर्वं भूतं यच्च भव्यम् उतामृतस्य शेषानः यदन्ध्रेणातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा चोजागस्य पुरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वभूतानि कृपास्वामृतं धिवि कृपा ऊर्ध्वा उदय पुरुष पादोऽसेह भवत् पुनः ततो वृश्यं जक्रामत्साशनान शने अभि तस्मात् जायता विराज्यो अधिपुरुषः तज्जातो अच्छरिच्यता पश्चात् भूमिमतो पुरा पुरुषेण हविषा देवा यज्ञमतं वत वसन्तो अस्य सीदाक्षं ग्रीष्म इधा शरद्धभिः स्यासन् परिदयः तथा सप्ताः समिदाः कृताः देवा यज्ञं तन्वानः अबन्धनं पुरुषं पशुं तं यज्ञं वर्षि प्रोक्षन् संजातमग्रतात् तेन देवा अयाजन्ता स्याजार्ष्यश्च ये या सर्वभूतः ऋचा सामानि जज्ञिरे छन्दागवंसि जज्ञिरे तस्मादश्वा अजायन्त ये केचो भयादता गावो हि जज्ञिरे तस्मादश्वा अजायन्त पुरुषं गतिदा विकल्पयन् मुखं कमस्य कौ बाहु काविरूपादा उच्येते ब्राह्मणो मुखमासीत् बाहुराजन्यकृतः उरुतयस्य यद्वेषा भद्रां शूद्रो अजायत चन्द्रमा मनसो जात चक्षो सूर्यो अजायत मुखादन्द्रिश्च अग्निश्च प्राणाद्वायुर्जायत या आसीदन्तरिक्षाघ्वं कृष्णोऽध्यौ समवर्तथा पद्भ्यां भूमिर्दशः श्रोता तथा लोकान् कल्पयन् वेदां महेतं पुरुषान् महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसस्तु पारे सर्वाणि रूपाणि विचित्य धीरः नामानि कृत्वा विवधन्यदास्ते दाता पुरस्तात् मुजाशहार शक्रः विद्वान् अपतस्ततस्त्रः तमेवं वृद्धामृता भवति नान्यपन्था अयुनयाय विद्यते ॐ यज्ञेन यज्ञमयजन्त देवाः तानि धर्माणि प्रथमन्यासना तेहनाकं महिमानः स्वतन्त्र
प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं जीवगणार्चितसेवितलिङ्गं भाविर्भक्तिभिरेवशलिङ्गं गिरिकरकोटि प्रभाकरलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् अष्टदलोपरिवेष्टितलिङ्गं सर्वसमोद्भवकारणलिङ्गम् अष्टदरिद्रविनाशकलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं सुरगुरुसुरवर पूजितलिङ्गं सुरवरपुष्प सदाजितलिङ्गं परापरं परमात्मकलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं 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 तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् निषदन् नमो गणपति चरण निषदन् नमो गणपति चरण गणपति चरण जननुकरण निषदन् नमो गणपति चरण निषदन् नमो गणपति चरण से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। ऐसा बिगड़ी बनाने वाला कोई और नहीं। ऐसा बिगड़ी बनाने वाला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। उनका डमरू दम दम बोले, अगन में गम का भेद खोले। उनका डमरू दम दम बोले, अगन गम का भेद खोले। ऐसा भक्तों का रखवाला कोई और नहीं। ऐसा भक्तों का रखवाला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। काया जब जब करबत बदले, पाप चमकते अगने पिछले। काया जब जब करबत बदले, पाप चमकते अगने पिछले। ऐसा जोग जगाने वाला कोई और नहीं। ऐसा जोग जगाने वाला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। ऐसा बिगड़ी बनाने वाला कोई और नहीं। ऐसा बिगड़ी बनाने वाला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। भोलेनाथ से निराला, गौरीनाथ से निराला कोई और नहीं। कोई और नहीं। कोई और नहीं। शिव शंभो शंभो, शिव शंभो महादेवा। शिव शंभो शंभो, शिव शंभो महादेवा। हरे 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 महादेवा। शिव शंभो महादेवा। शम्भो शम्भो शिव शम्भो महादेवा हरे 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 महादेवा शिव शम्भो महादेवा हरे 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 महादेवा शिव शम्भो महादेवा शिव शम्भो शम्भो शिव शम्भो महादेवा शिव शम्भो शम्भो शिव शम्भो महादेवा शिव शम्भो शम्भो शिव शम्भो महादेवा
बोले मापति महादेव की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव। सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। शिवजी चालीसा। जय गणेश गिरिजा सुवन मंगल मूल सुजान कहत अयोध्या दास तुम देहो अभय वरदान। जय गिरिजापति दीन दयाला सदा करत संतन प्रतिपाला। भाल चंद्रमा सोहत नीके कानन कुंडल नाग फणी के। अंग गौर सिर गंग बहाए मुंद माल तन छार लगाए। वस्त्र काल बाघंबर सोहे छवि को देख नाग मुनि मोहे। अंग गौर शिर गंग बहाए मुंद माल तन छार लगाए। वस्त्र काल बाघंबर सोहे छवि को देख नाग मुनि मोहे। मैना मातु की हवे दुलारी वाम अंग सोहत छवि न्यारी। कर त्रिशूल सोहत छवि भारी करत सदा शत्रुन छयकारी। नंदी गणेश सोहे तह कैसे सागर माध्य कमल है जैसे। कार्तिक शाम और गलराऊ या छवि को कहीं जात न ताहूं। देवन जब ही जाय पुकारा तब ही दुख प्रभु आप निवारा। किया उपद्रव तारक भारी देवन सब मिल तुम ही जुहारी। तुरत शराणन आप पठायो लवनी मेष महामारी गिरायो। आप जलंधर असुर संहारा सुयश तुम्हार विदित संसारा। त्रिपुरासुर सन युद्ध मचाई सब ही कृपा लीन बचाई। किया तपहि भागीरथ भारी पूर्व प्रतिज्ञाता सुपुरारी दानन मह तुम समको नाही सेवक स्तुति करत सदाही वेद नाम महिमा तुम गाही यकत अनादि भेद नहीं पाही प्रगति उदधि मंथन में जाला जरे सुरासुर भये बिहाला कीन दया तह कर ही सहाई नीलकंठ तब नाम कहाई पूजन रामचंद्र जप कीन्हा जीत के लंका विभीषण दीन्हा सहस कमल में हो रहे धारी कीन्ह परीक्षा तब ही पुरारी एक कमल प्रभु राखे उजोई कमल नयन पूजन चह सोई कठिन भक्ति देखी प्रभु शंकर भये प्रसन्न दिए चितवर जय 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 अनंत अविनाशी करत कृपा सबके घटवासी दुष्ट सकल नित मोहि सतावे भ्रमत रहे मोहि चैन न आवे त्राहि त्राहि मैं नाथ पुकारो यही अवसर मोहि आन उबारो ले त्रिशूल शत्रुल को मारो संकट से मोहियान उबारो मात पिता भ्राता सब कोई संकट में पूछत नहीं कोई स्वामी एक है आस तुम्हारी आय हरहूँ अब संकट भारी धन निर्धन को देत सदाई जो कोई जाचे वो फल पाही स्तुति के ही विधि करहूँ तुम्हारी क्षमहु नाथ अब चूक हमारी शंकर हो संकट के नाशन मंगल कारण विघ्न विनाशन योगी यति मुनि ध्यान लगावे नारद सारद शीश नवावे नमो नमो जय नमो शिवाय सुर ब्रह्मादिक पार न पाया जो यह बात करे मन लाई तापर होत है शंभु सहाई ऋनिया जो कोई हो अधिकारी पात करे सो पावन हारी पुत्रहीन इच्छा कर कोई निश्चय शिव प्रताप ते ही होई पंडित त्रयोदशी को लावे ध्यान पूर्वक होम करावे त्रयोदशी व्रत करे हमेशा तन नहीं ताके रहे कलेसा दीप नैवेद्य चढ़ावे शंकर सन मुख पाठ सुनावे जन्म जन्म के पाप नसावे अंतवास शिवपुर में आवे कहे अयोध्यास तुम्हारी जान सकल दुख हरहु हमारी, जान सकल दुख हरहु हमारी, जान सकल दुख हरहु हमारी। नित्य नेम कर प्रातहि पात करो 40, तुम मेरी मनोकामना पूर्ण कीन्ह कल्याण। नम पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभु। नमामि शमीशान, नमामि शमीशान, निर्वाण रूपम। This is the Rudrashtakam, 8 verses, and this is the, in the Ramcharitmanas. I think many of you know about the Ramcharitmanas. Tulsidas ji took excerpts of the Valmiki Ramayana and he wrote what we call the Manas Ramayana, which is written in Avadi, from Sanskrit to Avadi. Shankar Bhagwan, in one of the beautiful quotations, said that Tulsidas ji is the avatar of Valmiki, because there was no one else who could have done what he did. Tulsidas ji was such a scholar that when he wrote the Ramayana in Avadi, it was not because he did not know Sanskrit. Tulsidas ji was a scholar. He did not have any certificates, but he was a scholar. Now, how was he a scholar? Ramcharitmanas was written in Dohe or Chaupai. Dohe, plural for Doha, or Chaupai. It was written in a poetic language, a rhythmic language. You can speak it, you can sing it, and it will all fall in rhythm, and it rhymed as well. Bina satasanga vivekana hoi, Ram kripa bila sunabhana soyi, satasangata muda mangala mula, soyi padasidi sabasadana phula. If you want to know if anybody is repeating Ramayana properly, if they say Binu satasanga vivekana hoi and the next line is A or O, wrong. You don't have to know anything. You just have to know that it does not rhyme. Tulsidas ji wrote it that way. But you know what he did not do? He did not water down, or he did not forget Sanskrit. Sanskrit is our Matru Bhasha. They are Deva Bhasha. Sanskrit is the language of the mother language. All language came from Sanskrit. Sanskrit is Deva Bhasha. It is the language of the Devatas. That is why when we do puja, like Vedic puja, we chant Sanskrit. Namo Bhagavate Rudraya Namaste Rudramanyava. It is chanted in a metered way, it is measured, and it is chanted in such a way that when you give the proper intonation to it, it creates vibrations. It is not meant for the mass to understand it and speak it. If you can, that's good. But it is meant to feel something. Just like you don't understand electricity, but you feel it, you see the impact. You have to feel the impact of Sanskrit. What Tulsidas ji did not do, he did not let go of the language. In many of his writings in the Ramcharitmanas, he wrote many Sanskrit verses. As a matter of fact, all of the Chaupai, all of the Kanda, all of the chapters started with Sanskrit chanting. The first, Varnanam Amarta Sandhanam Rasanam Chandasamapi. Varnanam Amarta Sandhanam Rasanam Chandasamapi Mangalanam Chakartraro Vande Vani Vinayakam. They're the very first Sanskrit chanting. He did not let go. He kept the mother language. For that reason, we as Hindus, we can, when you, in your private way, you can talk to God in Guyanese, in Trinidadian, in Japanese, and all that language. But when it comes to singing the praises of the Lord, you do not go down to that level. You keep your Hindi, you keep your Sanskrit in our prayers. And Tulsidaji wrote all the introductory chapters. Shanken Dava Bhamti Vasundara Tanum Sharadul Sharamambaram Kalavyala Karala Bhushandaram Ganga Shashanka Priyam. That's another introduction he did. In Sundarkan, what did he write? Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendrayam Buddhimatam Varishtam. Right? He kept the language. The language is very beautiful, and it creates a beautiful, devotional feeling inside of you. Among the many chantings that he wrote in Sanskrit, he wrote the Rudrashtakam. He kept the Rudrashtakam in Sanskrit because it is important for us to preserve Matrubhasha. And that for that reason, I've always encouraged our youngsters, even the grown-ups, as though, although things are changing so much, let us not let go of our language. If we let go of little and little, what do you think will happen? Right? What do you think will happen? Slowly and slowly, our clothing is starting to be let go of. Right? Slowly, slowly. Clothing is, in the West Indian community, we're working hard to preserve it, but hold on to it. Dress traditionally or whatever it is. Then reflect yourself as a Hindu in your appearance or whatever. And when you sing bhajans, don't ever subscribe to singing English bhajans. Don't ever. If you do and you feel nice about it, good for you. I'm just saying, it's not meant to be. So he kept this beautiful chanting called Rudrashtakam. Namami Shamishan Nirvana Rupam. Nirvana Roop. In Buddhism, they are trying to attain nirvana. The highest level of attainment is called nirvana, enlightenment. In Hinduism, our highest level of achievement is mukti or moksha. He is the form of enlightenment. If you achieve Shiva, then you achieve nirvana, because he is nirvana roop. Vibhum vyapakam brahma veda swarupam. Vibhum vyapak. Those who have, those scholars, the writer, the holder of the Vedas, they even cannot perceive this Brahma Rupam, this Vishwarupam, this Nirvana Rupam of Shiva. Nijam nirgunam nirvikalpam niriham chirakashavakashavakas vasam bhajeham. He is Nirgun Roop. Of all the beautiful qualities, he possessed the highest of them. When Shiva is worshipped in this way, then we become embodiment, or we become, the true children of the Lord. This evening, as we do every Monday, let us sing this beautiful chanting to Bhagwan Shiva. I'd like to dedicate it this evening, this beautiful chanting, to my godson Tyler, who yesterday celebrated his birthday. Yesterday? Tyler celebrated his 17th birthday, pre-adult birthday. We want to wish Tyler all the best in the future years. We can only pray for many, many years of health and happiness. Tyler is a very good child, and he's committed to the temple. He's committed to his culture. And this is what I praise young people for. I know young people are smart. I know they are modern. I know they are Western. I know they know all the fancy things. I know they are bright. I know they are hardworking. That is common among all young people. What is not common among all young people is how much they hold their culture together. How much they're able to hold on to their culture together. To say that, I am from the Indian culture. I'm a Hindu. I dress like one. I speak like one. I celebrate like one. I behave like one. And we have to praise when our young people can stand out because of their culture, then they're truly worthy of appreciation and praises. We have a lot of young people who are not cultured, Hindu culture, but they're good people too. But we have to give them a little extra recognition when at least they embrace some of that culture. And Tyler has done a really fantastic job to commit to learning about his culture and to stay in it. And it is our prayer and hope that our young people, including Tyler, will go to many heights in life. They will achieve the highest level of life. Education, achievements, but do not forget your simple culture. That is all that we pray for. Happy birthday to you, Tyler. Bhagwan Shiva's blessings to you always. May you always have good health, respect, honor, dignity, and may Bhagwan Shiva take you to whatever heights you need to go. Namami Shamishan Nirvan Rupam Vibhum Vyapakam Brahmaveda Swarupam Vibhum Vyapakam Brahmaveda Swarupam Nijam Nirgunam Nirvikalpam Niriham Chidakashvakashvasam bhajeham Chidakashvakashvasam Nirakar Omkar Moolam Turiyam Giragyan Gotitamisham Girisham Karalam Mahakal Kalam Kripalam Gunagar Sansartharam Natoham Gunagar Sansartharam Tusharadrisham Kash Gauram Gabhiram Manobhut Koti Prabhasri Sariram Suran Maulikallolini Charudanga Lasat Bhal Bhalin Kanthe Bhujanga Chalat Kundalam Dhru Sunetram Vishalam Prasannananam Neelakantham Dayalam Prasannananam Neelakantham Prachandam Prakrishtam Pragalbham Paresham Akandam Majam Bhanukoti Prakasham Trayashula Nirmulanam Shulpanim Bhajeham Bhavanim Patim Bhagagamyam Bhajeham Bhavanim Patim Bhagagamyam Kalatit Kalyan Kalpantakari Sada Sajjananand Data Purari Chidanand Santoha Moha Pahari Prasida Prasida Prabhu Manmatari Naya Vadumanat Padar Vindam Bhajanti Haloke Pahe Vadaranam Bhajanti Haloke Pahe Vadaranam Natavat Sukham Shanti Samtapanasham Prasida Prabhu Sarvabhutativasam Prasida Prabhu Sarvabhutativasam Na janami yogam japam naiva pujam Na toham sada sarvada sambhutobhyam Jara janma dukho gyata tapyamanam Prabhu pahiya pannamamish shambho Prabhu pahiya pannamamish shambho Namami Shamisha Namami Shamisha निर्वाणरूपं विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेदस्वरूपं विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेदस्वरूपं विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेदस्वरूपं विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेदस्वरूपम्। बोले उमापति महादेव की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये काल हर दुख हर दारिद्र हर 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 महादेव शंभो। When we say Har 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 Mahadev, we say it 3 times, no? Har 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 Mahadev, Kal Har Dukh Har Daridra Har. Har means the speaker is up here, sorry. Har 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 Mahadev, Kal Har. O Lord, destroy Kal. Kal means death, Kal means time, Kal means darkness. All 3 of these things we are afraid of, or we don't want to happen. Kal Har, destroy that. We do not like darkness, because in darkness there is uncertainty. You cannot drive, you can't walk, you can't move, you cannot think in darkness. Destroy darkness. Kal Har, Kashta Har, difficulties. Destroy difficulties from our life. Dukkha Har, sorrows. And there is a 4th one sometimes, Daridra Har, which means poverty. Destroy them. When we say Har 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 Mahadev, that is the first Har. Kala Har, Kashta Har, Dukkha Har. So, what does it mean? We're asking the Lord of destruction, the Lord who destroys, not people, but destroys the negative tendencies in people to be destroyed. I was listening to Swami Raghavacharya, who is one of my favorite narrator of Katha. He's from Ayodhya. And he was talking about Shiva. He narrates Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana. Swamiji was saying that he was asked about Shiva. He's Ram Bhakta, but of course to be Ram Bhakta, you have to be Shiv Bhakta. He says, how do you describe Har 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 Mahadev? How can Shiva really destroy something like difficulties and challenges? He said, well, he was speaking in the States, by the way. He said, you know, all you people in the States here, you have something called, you know, washer and dryer, right? So everybody say yes? He said, good. He said, when you put your dirty clothing, your soiled clothing in the washer, do you just put the soiled clothing in the washer and turn on the washer? Everybody said, no. So what do you put in? And they said, Guruji, we put in laundry detergent, we put in fabric softener, and whatever, softener, whatever you put in, bleach, and so on, depending what you're washing. He says, very good. And when all of that enter the water mixes with it, the water mixes with all of that, and the clothing gets washed with it. What becomes pure? The clothing becomes clean. Similarly, your detergent, and all the things that you put in, soap powder and so on, when all that comes into contact with the cloth, purifies it. That Shiva is the same. When Shivji comes in contact with you, then the self becomes purified. Then the question becomes, what is the self? Who is the self? We are not talking about the physical self. You are responsible for protecting and purifying this. This body is not the Lord's responsibility. This is your responsibility. You have to eat properly, you have to exercise, and so on. But what is his responsibility? When Shiva becomes in contact with us, or we in contact with the Lord, then it is like the bleach or the detergent coming in contact with the clothing. Purification happens instantaneously. Purification happens. Now what happens after you clean the clothing? What will happen afterwards? After you clean the clothing, then you wear the clothing back again.
You wear the clothing back again and it becomes soiled. Perspiration and all this thing, it becomes soiled. So what happens when the clothing becomes soiled? Panaji, you look. When the clothing becomes soiled, what happens again? You have to now go and you have to rewash it all over again. Similarly, when we become in contact with Shivji, it does not mean that we are purified for life. Enlightenment or mukti is not a life blessing. Panaji, ye log niche ja sakte hain. So when you become in contact with Shivji, you do not become pure for life. You do not become enlightened for life. You have to keep washing and keep rinsing and keep that process going every single day. Every single day. Because, my friends, our mind is as such that no matter how much of our morning puja we did, our chanting, our prayers, or pujas that we do in the morning, the minute you leave that puja room, the minute you leave your meditation room, your mind start getting pulled in 100,000 directions. Somebody passes, so they disturb you. You log on to work, they disturb you. Every time your mind or your eyes or your ears become in contact with a sound, your eyes become in contact with an object, you become distracted. Prayers have to be done every single day. For Shiva, it is like that. He becomes. This evening, quickly, I will tell you about the 5 faces of Shiva. Hanumanji is called Panchamukhi, but Shivji also has 5 faces. If you go to a place called Nepal, where Bhagwan Shivji is in the Nilkantha form, that lingam you will see that the Lord has 5 faces. And all 5 faces are in 5 different directions. Which 5 directions? East, west, north, south, and up in the skies. The first face of the Lord facing the west is called Satyojata. We chant this prayer every time we do puja in this temple. Satyojatam prapadhyami satyojataya ve namo namah bhave bhave nati bhave bhavasyamam vamadevaye namo, and so on. The first face of the Lord is called Satyojata. This face is in the west direction. And this face represents Ichha Shakti. Ichha means willpower. In all of us, as I say, anytime I speak about Durga, I say this, Durga Ma, that she is the Ichha Shakti in us. When our hands will fail us physically, when our feet will fail us, our body will fail us physically in general, then we have to tap into the willpower. The willpower, that is a power that no one can see. That is a power that no one can determine. That is a power that you have access to. Satyojata. Shiva represents Ichha Shakti in the form of Satyojata. Then the second form is called Vamadev. The second face, Vamadevaye namo Jeshtaye namo Shreshtaye namo Rudraye namo. Vamadev. This is in the northern direction. And Bhagwan Shiva represents the Chitta Rupa in this form. Chitta Rupa is the form of consciousness. This is a very important form of the Lord. Consciousness, Chitta. Then to attain Chitta, Chitta means consciousness in the sense that we have many tendencies in us that we have brought from the past. You will find a scorpion, a bull, a dog, a cockroach, a mosquito, a snake. All these things are inside of us. Remember, we have gone through 8,400,000 forms. You are going to bring over some of those behavioral tendencies into this form that you have. So why is consciousness important at a base level? It means when you're about to say something, to listen and to respond, and to when you're looking at something, you have to be conscious that this is the snake in you that is about to bite. This is the mosquito that is about to sting. This is the scorpion in you, this is the dog in you, this is the bull in you. That consciousness you have to suppress those behaviors. You do not want that. That is the second face of the Lord. The third face of the Lord is in the southern direction. Who say there is no God in the southern direction? Who say the south is bad? The south is good for many reasons, and it is not so good for any reasons. But if at all you're facing the south, remember who is in the south? Aghora. Aghora means aghorebhyo, thagorebhyo, aghora, ghora, tharibhyah. The third phase is in the southern direction in the form of aghora. Aghora means or represents Jnana Shakti, knowledge. When that phase is worship of the Lord, Aghora form of the Lord, then Jnana Shakti becomes ours. Jnana Shakti is the power of knowledge. Knowledge is described as a burning fire in the Gita. It is described as something that can consume anything in its way. Jnana Shakti. We pray to Shivji also for Aghorebhyo, Thagorebhyo, Ghora, Ghora, Taribhyah. When knowledge is attained by people, I'm not talking about the courses and the certificates and so on. That's important in life. Please achieve them at the highest level. But I'm referring to the knowledge of the self, knowledge of life. Then Tat Purusha. Tat Purushaya vidmahe mahadevaya dhimahi tanno rudra prachodayat. Tat Purusha, that face is in the eastern direction, and that represents Ananda Shakti. Ananda Shakti means the power of bliss. When someone is in bliss, you, me, even an animal, when an animal is in bliss, then they forget about their lower tendencies and only the higher tendencies are upheld. In our tradition, we place chandan or the bhasma or the vibhuti of the Lord, not only on the forehead. They are placed at many, many places. Bhagavatam tells us the Vaishnavas where they place chandan, on the forehead, on the pit of the throat, on the hands, on the arms, the shoulders, the elbows in a certain way, in a curved manner, right? Even on their chest. In the Shaiva tradition, the vibhuti of the Lord is placed in all these places. Don't place it unless you know. But why do we do that? When vibhuti is placed on a particular spot, like the chandan, if it's placed here, the purpose of doing that is to enhance the higher self, not the lower self. The waist and above, you want to enhance everything. You want to enhance their functions, right? So chandan and vibhuti is placed on all these, the pit of the throat, the anahata, that is the last chakra that above ones that you play, kumkum. Anyways, for everybody else, just put chandan on your forehead. What does it do? It enhances your higher abilities, because every day we want to be in bliss, we want to be in bliss, we want to be in bliss. The fourth face of the Lord is in the eastern direction, Tat Purusha, Tat Purushaya vidmahe. And the last face of that particular lingam is called Ishana. Ishana sarva vidyanam, Ishana sarva bhutanam, Brahmadipate, Brahmanodipate. That is the peak. What is that representing? The Chitta Shakti, Sambapiham, it represents space itself. It represents space itself. Everything is occupied by space. Even this earth is occupied by space. We are occupying this important element of space. These 5 faces represent the 5 elements, by the way. It represents space. And what are we asking? That there is space in us and we occupy space as well. May that space that we occupy, be it ether or here, may it be purified and may it bring us a balance of life. These 5 faces of Shiva, they are called the Pashupatinath Lingam in Nepal. Pashupati means Lord of the animals, the wild. Because he's wild. Everyone needs someone, even the wild ones, need someone to tame them. And this is Bholinath Bhagwan, the Lord of the wild. Inside of all of us, there is some form of life. Apart from this human life, there is some form of life that is inappropriate, that is going to act up someday. Every single human being are capable of an animalistic qualities, but we pray every day that we do not display it. My message to you today is, although you may not remember all of these 5 faces, Tat Purusha, Ghora, and so on, it is important to know that when you worship this great Lord Mahadev, that you are worshiping a force that is unmatched. At the temple, because the lingam is so big, we have the liberty of doing so many things with him. You will see that when we are rubbing the ghee on him, it is rubbed in a special way, the 4 faces plus the top. Sometimes, on special occasions, we put like in Kashi Vishwanath, they put chandan, the tripun on all 4 sides. Sometimes we do that here as well. Different things we do to enhance different energies. I hope and pray that Shiv Puja is not a Monday morning affair for you, but is an everyday activity. May this Nirvana Roop of the Lord, may He bless you with Ichha, inner power. May He bless you with Gyan, knowledge. May He bless you with Ananda, bliss. And may this bliss not be experienced only for a moment, may it be experienced always. If at all you want to take away something tonight, take away this message. Remember your washer. Next time you're going to wash clothes, every time now you're going to remember Pandit Hardat when you wash clothes. Because he said, when you're washing clothes, it's the same like being in contact with Shiva. Remember, your clothes get soil and dirt. And just like that, our self gets soil and dirt as well. We want to purify that continuously in our life. Prayer is not a one-day story, it's an everyday activity. May Mahadev Bhagwan bless all of you. And lucky for all of us, on the 14th of July. On the 14th of July, next week, Thursday, we will be starting our Shravan Mass. From the 14th of July to the 11th of August is Shravan Mass. We will be here every single day for Shivji Puja and Satsang. Every single day. Next week is going to be a magical week because the first 2 days before Guru Purnima, we're going to dedicate it to the Guru. And of course on Guru Purnima is the Guru. So I'll do a 3-day Guru Katha. Monday, next week Monday, talk a little bit about Guru. And then Tuesday next week is Pradosh. Tuesday next week is Pradosh. We are going to do something different for the first time in the temple for Pradosh. I'm looking to have minimum next week Tuesday 21 people in the temple, because we're going to do the Shankha Puja for Pradosh, Lord Shiva. This is where we have 21 Shankha. I've already ordered it. And then at the start of the puja, there'll be water in the Shankha and Chandan, Kumkum and so on spread around the Kalash. We'll do the invocation of Shiva and the Shodashupchar Puja in the Kalash. Then we'll do the Rudram. And then after that, all the people who are present, they get to take a shank each, 21. And that water will be there afterwards. They take it and bathe the Lord with it. They're small shank. It's very beautiful. Now, I like to have 21 people here, but if we have less, they'll get more blessings. So they'll throw more water on the shank. It's up to you. Next week, Tuesday, remember the day. Next week, Tuesday, we're going to do that puja here starting at 6 p.m. Come on out and let's be prayerful. And then on Wednesday is Guru Purnima, where we worship the Gurus of the world and we pray that they may live and stay enlightened so that we are enlightened. And of course, on Thursday, we start Bholinath Bhagwan's month of Shravan. Please remember, every single day in the evening, we have puja here. The lingam will be dressed simple and elaborate on Mondays. And we're hoping to see you. We're going to be live, of course, for every evening, but we want to see you in the temple. This goes from July 14th to August 11th. From August the 11th to August 17th is our annual Bhagavad Katha. I cannot tell you if that will be outside or inside. We may have a tent
rent it and donate to us, but I don't know. I'm hoping it can be outside. A lot of our volunteers are going to be away, so it is hard to get people to decorate tent and so. But we'll do our best. I hope it is outside and we get a help. If not, we have our temple. 7 days of Bhagavad Katha will be done. And on the 18th of August is Krishna Janmashtami. 18th of August. And of course we go, it's a Thursday, we go up to 12 o'clock in the night. This is a beautiful, happy time coming out to us. Shravan month allows us to make some sankalp. I know life is busy and summer is there, and it's not convenient for you to pray every day and give Lord Shiva your devotion every day. But sometimes we have to make sankalp that is very difficult. You know, they say in life sometimes you have to make difficult decisions. Things that you're not happy with, you have to do sometimes. Well, maybe this is one of them, where we take a sankalp that we'll commit ourselves to Shivji for a whole month. I hope to see all of you. And of course, our very elaborate Monday Shravan Mas Pujas will be back as well. Bole Mahapati Mahadeva ki Nama Parvati Pataye Har 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 Mahadeva Shambho. हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले. Is there anybody who brought prasad and didn't offer? You can go now and offer. If you brought prasad and did not offer, you can go now. Vishu? Incidentally, today is Indy's birthday, and I was going to sing this song. So Indy, we'd like to dedicate this song to you and ask Bhagwan Shivji's blessings on you. I'm glad you're here this evening in the temple. May Bhagwan Shiv bless you in abundance. Happy birthday to you. Hey Shiva Shankar Param Manohar सुख बरसाने वाले दुख तालते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले शंभु भोले भाले शंभु भोले भाले शंभु भोले भाले. हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले दुख तारते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले शंभु भोले भाले शंभु भोले भाले शंभु भोले भाले. शंभो लो पर नाम है मंगलकारी जगदीश्वर त्रिपुरारी. लो पर नाम है मंगलकारी जगदीश्वर त्रिपुरारी. सचा वर दो दीन जनों को हे भोला भंडारी. सच्चा वर दो दीन जनों को हे भोला भंडारी. आज तिहारी शरण में आए दाता मोह बचा ले दुख ताल से भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले शंभु भोले बम भोले शंभु भोले भाले शंभु भोले भाले. भोले मृत्यु तेरे चरण दबाई, विषधर अंत में खेले। मृत्यु तेरे चरण दबाए, विषधर अंत में खेले। भूत और प्रेत निकट नहीं आए, शिव शिव नाम जो ले ले। भूत और प्रेत निकट नहीं आवे, शिव शिव नाम जो ले ले। उसका मन फिर क्या भरमाए, जिसको तू ही संभाले। दुख तारते भव से तारते, शंभु भोले भाले। शंभु भोले हम भोले, शंभु भोले भाले। शंभु भोले भाले। हे ज्ञानेश्वर शक्तिशाली, अर्ज करे सवाली। हे ज्ञानेश्वर शक्तिशाली, अर्ज करे सवाली। हम हैं फूल तेरे भगिया के, तू है बाग कमाली। हम हैं फूल तेरी बगिया के, तू है बाग कमाली। पूजा लायक कर ले हमको, अपने शरण लगा ले। दुख तालते भव से तारते, शंभु भोले भाले। शंभु भोले भाल बम भोले, शंभु भोले भाले। शंभु भोले भाले। शिव शंकर और मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले। दुख तालते भव से तारते, शंभु भोले भाले। शंभु भोले भाल बम भोले, शंभु भोले भाले। 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 शंभु भोले भाल बम भोले, शंभु भोले भाले। शंभु भोले भाले। शंभु भोले भाले। शंभु भोले भाले। उमापति महादेव की जय। Happy birthday to you again, Indy. Bhagwan Shiva's blessings to you always. And now we'll stand for Aarti. So everybody please stand. Yani kani cha papani janmantarkritani cha ani sarvani nashyantu pradakshinam pade pade. Om Jai Shiva Omkara, भोले हर शिव ओमकार। ओम जय शिव
ओंकारा, स्वामी हरि शिव ओंकारा। ब्रह्मादेषु सदाशिव, ब्रह्मादेषु सदाशिव। हरिनागीधारा, ओम जय शिव ओंकारा। ओम हरे 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 महादेव। बुझते सोहे स्वामी 10 बुझते सोहे तीनों रूप निरखता तीनों रूप निरखता त्रिभुवन जन मोहे ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव अक्षमाला बनमाला मुंडमाला धारी स्वामी मुंडमाला धारी चंदन मृगवध सोहे चंदन मृगवध सोहे भाने शशिधारी ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव श्वेतांबर पीतांबर वागंबरे अंगे स्वामी वागंबरे अंगे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादिक सनकादिक ब्रह्मादिक भूतादिक संगे ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव कर में शेष कमंडल चक्र त्रिशूल धरता स्वामी चक्र त्रिशूल धरता जग करता जग हरता जग करता जग हरता जग पालन करता ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम हर 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 महादेव ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदाशिव जानत अविवेका स्वामी जानत अविवेका प्रणवाक्षर के माथे प्रणवाक्षर के माथे यही तीनों एका ओम जय शिव ओंकारा
ओम हर 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 महादेव ओम हर 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 महादेव कर्पूरगौरम करुणावतारम संसारसारम भुजगेन्द्रहारम सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा पराधं विहितम् अविहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः असतो मा सत्यमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। बोले गणपति भगवान की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, सियावर रामचंद्र की, राधा कृष्ण भगवान की, लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, बाल कृष्ण लाल की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, भारत माता की, नव दुर्गा माता की, सूर्यनारायण स्वामी की, सत्यनारायण स्वामी की, सरस्वती माता की, महालक्ष्मी माता की, जयकारा शेरवालीला बोल साचे दरबार की। नमः पार्वती पतये, हर 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 महादेव शंभो। सत्य सनातन धर्म की, सनातन धर्म की, सनातन धर्म की। सबको जय जय सीताराम। शुभ रात्रि। Thank you everyone. Please take आरती प्रसाद. Safe drive home.